Hold on one second. My plastic surgeon's texting me. Welcome back to another episode of Fake Lips Real Talk. Hey, are you still hot? Yes. No need for you right now.
I don't need you.
Please don't edit that out. Please let that be the intro. He checks in with me more than my actual husband, my Jewish king, Dr. Crane, who will have you looking snatched for summer. Yeah, this isn't sponsored, but I highly recommend. In fact, ever since I went to him, now I'm looking at everything else going, well, what could Dr. Crane do about that?
Yeah.
So this is not a body positive podcast. This is a body negative podcast.
You don't see yourself through your own eyes. You see yourself through Dr. Crane's eyes.
Dr. Crane, what would WWDCD? What would Dr. Crane do?
Remember when sound of little feet wasn't music?
Let's leave you a man at home. Welcome back to Fake Lips Real Talk. I'm joined by longtime hater, first time caller, the gorgeous Philip Danger.
That's me.
Hello. I can't believe we're still doing this, and maybe we shouldn't be, but we need to press on because I need to be successful in order to sustain the lifestyle I've become accustomed to. So we soldier on. Please tell your friends. Please rate, review, subscribe. We can't afford any advertising. We are using this is how low budget we've gotten. I'm using a lamp to light myself because Phil bullied me and told me that I looked dead.
It's true. I did. You were looking ghostly. It was very cave-like. It was very, yeah.
This feels Irish phobic.
Yeah.
Anyway, 911, what's your emergency? I want to know what your emergency of the week is.
Wait, do we talk about, can we define again once for the viewers what our 911 emergency means?
911, what's your emergency means like what it's like what's wet sand in your underwear. Like 911, I'm surrounded by poor people was week number 1. 911, people are bringing their dogs places that dogs don't belong. 911, I Kermit the Frog too close to the sun and I picked a green nail polish. Like 911 is like 911 is how you say un petit problème. So what's like wet sand in your underwear this week?
It's literally what I'm wearing, which is a crop top. Wait,
stand up.
You can't, they won't be able to see this.
Oh, well,
it's a longer crop. It's not the croppiest of crops.
Yeah. Okay. This
is my roommate's crop. Yeah, that's like a medium.
That was really
crop.
vulnerable. I just showed my tummy tuck. New belly
no,
button.
I was working on a photo shoot last week, and it was for a new apparel line, and like they didn't have like any crops that were like made. They only had those high crops, like, and that was it. And I was like, first off, but it's the what is it when one group takes something of another? It's the appropriation of crops across every like group everywhere. It's like everyone is wearing crops now.
And
so can I hit on you or not? There's so many straight men in my gym that wear crops.
Okay, and they're gay baiting. They're gay
baiting
during Pride Month.
I love the freedom of everyone being able to wear a crop top. That is fantastic. And you go back far enough to like the 70s and 80s and like, come on, our dads were wearing crops, our dads were wearing cutoff shorts, like, but now
But do you remember when I said
just a little bit?
Yeah, you're gay baiting. Do you remember when I told you, and you told me I was being totally heteronormative, that nail polish is for girls and for gay men? And if you're a straight man wearing nail polish and you're not Harry Styles or a rock star, I don't want to see it on you. No, you have to at least be a little bit gay. It's just the rules. I'm sorry. Like
but aren't we all? So then are we all a little bit gay?
That's
just a little bit.
Conversation for another pod.
That was my 911. It was just everyone's wearing crops now, and it doesn't help me anymore.
Sometimes I wish I were a little bit gay because I'm attracted to men, but I don't like them. We're staunchly anti-man. Okay, so crop tops. The thing for me is when I was a plus size girly, it was like, can we get a full shirt? Because I'm fully for all the plus size girls who want to wear crop tops, but it was like I could not find a shirt. And so I was having to buy like 3X to find something that would be long enough. Like this is a crop top and I'm finally confident enough to wear it. But like some bitches still want the whole shirt.
Yeah. Give me your 911. Let's go.
It's that I was getting my nails done,
Okay.
as one does, and my mom goes there too. It's a local joint, and somebody was like, "Hey, didn't you say your grandpa or didn't your mom say her dad walked on the moon? Such and such over here, John, Larry, whatever his name is, doesn't believe in the moon landing."
Okay.
And when people tell me that, it's like, whatever. Conspiracy theories are fun to have. Like, I
Sure.
love to entertain them every now and then. But to tell me I'm lying, so I was like, two things are true. My grandfather, who went to MIT, was either so stupid not to realize he wasn't actually walking on the moon. It's my only flex. My grandfather was the sixth man to walk on the moon. Or my dead grandfather, because he's since died, is a liar. And neither of those options are good. So, like, tell everybody in the world your theories about how, now, if you deny shit like the Holocaust or 9/11, like, don't speak to me. But the moon landing, it's like a fun conspiracy theory. We didn't really go to the moon. Ha ha ha. Don't tell me, because then you're calling my dead grandpa a liar. And he was many things. I mean, he went to the moon, and my grandmother wishes they left him there. But he was not. Can you hear that rain?
Yeah, I can hear it outside. It almost sounds like static from this end, but yeah.
Oh
it's
no.
loud.
Sorry to the listeners. Anyway, that's my emergency. The moon landing happened. And also, in order for conspiracy to be true, so many people would have to be lying about this. So you think, like, all the people who worked on it, like, you're telling me there isn't one gossip amongst the bunch who's like, I'm blowing the lid off this thing. Sorry, no. It's just not true. And
The moon landing debate is still chic to me. Like, I love getting in with people that don't believe the moon landing happened because it's still so much fun. Like, flat earth, ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous. But the moon landing conspiracies it's still chic. I still love talking. Like, I'll argue to death with people that are like, we did not land on the moon. And I'm like, let's go. Let's have fun. This
for
is a fun
sure,
one.
for sure. But like, if I was going to lie, I'd make up a way cooler lie. I'd say that Ryan Reynolds was my cousin.
It's
Or
too obscure. Like, my grandfather was on the moon.
wasn't even the first one. Like, he was one of the ones.
Yeah,
No,
why would you make up that your grandfather was the sixth man on the moon?
Thank you. Why wouldn't I say that he was, why wouldn't I say that he invented the toaster strudel or something? Like, I would make up a way cooler lie. Like, what's a reasonable lie we could get away with?
That we're not hot.
Okay.
Come on.
Couldn't get away with that for a day.
But no, that brings up, what lie could you reasonably get away with? To our friends or to strangers? Like, you're just coming across and you're just introducing yourself.
One of my favorite things to do when I meet a stranger is make up a whole persona.
Yeah.
Because I'm never going to see them again. And so I want to delight them. I want to razzle dazzle. Maybe I'm a bit of a psychopath, but like, you've never gotten in the back of an Uber a little drunk and just been like, I'm putting on it. We're role playing. You and me, Jamal. Like, we're going, it's a tete-a-tete. That's not lying. That's storytelling.
Yeah. In fact, if we're being honest, we all lie a little bit about who we are. So all we're doing is just building a little bit spicier of a story for the person we don't know.
Right. If I was going to lie, I'd make up a cooler lie. No, that is literally, and here's the thing, it has nothing to do with me. Like, I barely passed physics. One time I called him for homework help, and I think I fell asleep because he got into like quantum physics. He took the leap. He was it, but I did use it for every single science fair. Like, all the other kids are trekking in with their volcanoes that made out of vinegar and baking soda. Not me. I was like, I have a moon rock and I'm going to bring it in. And I had to do absolutely no work. That is my only claim to fame. There's no generational wealth. There's nothing. My grandfather walked on the moon, and that's all I have. So let me have it. Let me have it. He did.
When I meet people and tell them about you, I do remind them that you come from a lineage of moonwalkers, because you did
a lineage. I also come from a lineage of dairy farmers. Okay.
And there's no in between. There's no in between. It's either muddy boots in Irish soil or it's dusty boots on the moon. There's no in between.
It's a gorgeous legacy between the two, and I own them both completely. But why would I lie? So anyway, that's
it's a true rags to riches, and you did neither.
No, I didn't either. I did very, very solidly upper middle class.
You're just here to tell people about it.
To only slightly further upper middle class.
Yeah. Let me tell you about the legacy of someone else in my family that I co-opt.
Yeah.
As part of my own story. You had nothing to do with it.
Literally nothing to do.
It's not like you were the biggest fan. It's not like you had letters to him as a child going, I hope you make it to the moon.
No, we weren't even that close. After he died,
we weren't even close.
Sorry, Grandpa. No, we weren't that close because he was really smart. Wait. No. I have to roll this off back.
I didn't know that. I didn't know that y'all were close.
Well, no. Yeah, okay. Hold on. Come back. I need to explain this.
We barely spoke.
I can't be written out of the will, and I want to be in the documentary when they make one. Anyway, no, it's not that we weren't
I hate
close.
to break it to you. No one's making a documentary about the sixth man that walks on the moon.
They actually have. Anyway, they just didn't call me for some reason because I'm an embarrassment to the family. Anyway, no, it's not that we weren't close. It was that he was almost like he was so smart that he was almost hard to talk to. But I did, right before he died, I was super pregnant with Holly, and we came and visited when he was in care, and it was really, really sweet. And even on his deathbed, he couldn't speak. They had to feed him. He was like holding a pencil and still doing Sudoku. So you call it Sudoku. Anyway, fascinating man. And after he died, I was like, I want to honor his legacy, and I want to try and read some of the books he wrote. Right? Like I was like, this, Grandpa, like I really want to get to know you. And actually, it was really cool because he was hard to get to know. I hope you wouldn't mind me saying that, Grandpa. I'm so sorry. I'm disappointing you in so many other ways, though. Like, this is the bottom of the barrel. Anyway, I wanted to get to know him really. So I was like, okay, I'm going to read his books because maybe it'll be more accessible. And he literally, in the introduction to one of his books, was like, if you're stupid, don't read this. It's going to be difficult for you. And when you're studying for an exam and you're really tired and you have to read the same sentence over and over and over, yeah. I'm reading it going, what the fuck are you saying, Grandpa? This is in English. You're not even speaking about English. He was trying to bridge the gap between spirituality, because he was raised Southern Baptist, and science. And my little stupid Botox-infused brain was about to explode. Anyway, I love you, Grandpa. Rest in peace. I'm really sorry that I couldn't understand your book.
You haven't followed in his footsteps either. You haven't written a book. So
yet.
But there's got to be, listen, if you step foot on the moon and then you come back to Earth, there's going to be a distinction with how you just kind of talk to I would say, earthbound folk.
Okay, even if you're just as smart as he was, like, of course he was hard to talk to. I was like, do you want to hear about Barbie? And he was like, well, the center of an atom. I don't know. Not even that. You know what? I asked him a lot about going to the moon, and I was like, what was it like when you took off? And he said it was a lot like being on the subway. And I was like, that was anticlimactic, Grandpa. You should have lied.
He probably did. He was like, how do I express to this child?
Okay, I'm
this earthbound child.
I'm about to blaspheme my own grandfather, but like the stuff he did when he came back from the moon, like he tried to move Playboy bunnies into that. I would
too if I'd set foot on the moon. The moon is the flexiest flex you could do. What have you done in your life? Well, I did step foot on the moon, and I was the sixth man on the moon.
Today,
imagine you
were
trying to figure out if that's like, people don't believe that lie, and it's a ridiculous lie to make up. Imagine him introducing himself at parties once he got home. Well, I was the sixth man, and people are like, no one remembers the sixth man.
Well, it's the time before Photoshop, so he could be like, look at this picture of me with the Dalai Lama. Look at me with Ronald Reagan. Like, do you think they take pictures with just anybody? No. And he was a really, really cool person, but I was so little. Like, I was like, okay, whatever. Like, you walked on the moon, like, big whoop. Like, keep sending me the 20s in the envelope for my birthday, and we'll be Gucci. Like, I don't know how to explain this, but when you're that little, you literally don't care. My dad played at Carnegie Hall, and I got to be backstage with Art Garfunkel, who's like part of Simon and Garfunkel. And I'm really aging myself here because most of our listeners probably don't know who I'm talking about, but like famous musician. His son was backstage with me, and the son was obviously like a prodigy. And I was like, I'm texting with my 5th grade boyfriend. I'm backstage at Carnegie Hall. Don't care.
Do you know who my grandfather is?
Yeah,
how are kids going to know who Art Garfunkel is, and they don't know who Justin Timberlake is? Like, you're too far back. You're too far gone.
No, they know Justin Timberlake as Jessica Biel's husband, and they know Jessica Biel as the woman who eats yogurt in the shower.
They know Justin Timberlake because he was in Trolls.
Oh no.
I'm pretty sure hold on, I recognize your voice, right? Were you in Trolls? That's Justin Timberlake's introduction to a party.
Do you know that everybody tells me I look like Anna Kendrick? And I'm like, no, we both just have squeaky voices and are slightly annoying.
Like, yeah, I don't get Anna Kendrick from you.
No, I don't see it either, but I see like I see where they landed.
She's far more whimsical.
I have whimsy.
It was the Cups. It was the Cups song.
Look at me.
Her rise to fame was the Cups song. Have you ever sat on a stage and no? She's whimsical.
You're saying I don't have whimsy?
I'm saying whimsy's not in the top 5.
Fine. I get bullied for my skin.
You think you're whimsical just because you came from Ireland?
Well, I did musical theater. So naturally the whimsy comes out of me. Okay, well, today we're getting into a topic which is going to sound like a snooze, but we're not. We're flipping it on its head, and we want to talk about self-care, but we want to talk about it from a new angle, not about bubble baths and yoga, but like things that aren't considered self-care, but are self-care. Shall I go first, or should you?
I'm going to start off first off with something I think a lot of our listeners might identify with, which is the 10 minutes in the car before you walk into the house.
That's true.
I've seen so many people go, why is my husband spending 10 minutes in the car? And I'm like, first off, why aren't you spending 10 minutes in the car when you get home?
Well, he needs to talk to his other family.
Prime unwind time when we're neither driving nor in our homes. When we're in this liminal space, I'm going to throw out some big words there, of
hold on.
We're in the car, we're in the cockpit, the seatbelt's off, we have our phone out.
What does liminal mean?
Please ask Alexa what liminal space means. It means between two space. You're not one or the other.
Space.
That's prime self-care.
Prime self-care time. State or of a place or state of change or transition. This could be physical or psychological. Gorgeous word. I'm going to start using it.
Yeah. It's the liminal space of being in the car and just being like, you know what? I'm not ready to go in yet. And you know what? It's got my time for 10 minutes. A few little TikToks, a few little reels.
See, also eating in your car after going through a drive-through, listening to what you want to listen to, not sharing your food with anybody. Another gorgeous activity.
Yeah. So that's why I'm starting out strong. I'm starting out strong with the liminal car space in the driveway.
That's a hard one to get past. My first one is looking at people who used to be mean to you in high school on Facebook or Instagram and seeing that their husband looks like a thumb and that they're also in an MLM. Even better when you get a message from them. They're like, hey, girly, would you like to join blah, blah, blah. And you can become a boss babe too, boss babe. And I'm like, oh God, you peaked at 15 and I'm better than you.
You got a list. You got a list of people you check in with from time to time on the Facebooks?
I have a list of people where I'm like, I hope you do well. Like, I want good things for you.
Yeah.
But I want you significantly.
But unfortunately.
But I also want you to be doing just terribly enough. Like, I don't want actual bad things for anybody. Like, I really do in general want good things for everybody. I want medium bad things for some people, and being in an MLM or having a like balding husband who looks like he's not a hoot and a half. That kind of just.
You feel balding is something you can control? Like, that's a choice.
Well, no, but how you bald is how you can control. Okay, you're about to.
How you bald is the name of this podcast episode. How you bald. That is
bald community is about to come for me, and let me tell you something. Bald is beautiful. Bald is hot. How you bald is up to you. If you have a receding hairline,
do you hang on to it for a while?
No, let it go. Let it go. You got to shave it down, honey. And if you don't like the shape of your head, wear a backwards hat. The women love that. They'll do anything for a backwards hat. No, please. If you have a receding hairline, let it go.
Or just thinning hair. I'm going to tell you a quick story here. One of my best friends, who's in his mid to late 20s now, came to me and he goes, I'm balding. Should I shave it all off? I would never have known great head of hair, just slightly thinning. He's the only one. His dark hair. He's the only one who knows he's balding.
Yeah, but he still has room to save it too.
But to me, I go, no, I've known you for like 6 years. I would never have known your hair was thinning.
Yeah.
If
Well,
I
sometimes we look
can't
at ourselves too
tell,
long.
then we don't address it. But once it's there and visible, we gotta
Especially if
and
you're just
bald's
getting the
sexy.
small patch
Bald,
at the top. Thank you. Bald
bald
with
is
a beard.
sexy.
Goodbye.
Ooh.
Bald with a beard. Bald with a beard is the name of the app. Bald with a beard.
Bald
I'm
with a
looking for a
beard.
man in finance. Bald. I'm not looking for a man in finance. I'm looking for a lumberjack. Bald with a beard. Bald
We
with a
got
beard.
it.
Bald with a beard. Yeah, bald with a beard is hot. If you're balding, man, woman, I don't care. Embrace it. The harder you try and fight, says the girl who's like super pale, sloughing on pounds of spray tan every week. The more you try and fight something, the worse it appears, especially if you're one of those men who just has the small patch on the top of your head. You know?
Yeah.
You're like
just around the crown. Yeah.
Just around the crown. Just go with it. And if you catch it before it's too late, get a minoxidil prescription, honey. It's not that hard. You can
Here's the lesson on this that I learned, and because we're gonna go on to more self-care because I want to move through these. Is I used to try to grow out facial hair every now and then. I am somehow blessed, cursed, use the word you want to, with not being able to grow much facial hair at all.
Right.
So I tried to grow out my mustache a couple times, and I asked for honest feedback from one of my friends, and they said, honestly, it looks like you're trying to grow a mustache. And if it looks like you're trying, it's not a confidence thing. Like, it looks like you're trying. Trying is the big word there. And I was like, that's the best advice I could have got. I've never tried to grow any of my facial hair out again, because if it always is going to look like I'm trying, then like that is oh, you're almost there. Oh, you're not quite there. Oh, did you just start? It's like, just accept your face for what it is. And or not. And we use Dr. Crane. Or how
Paging
you
Dr. Crane.
accept your face how Dr. Crane sees it. And
accept yourself the way your plastic surgeon would accept you.
I need to put a sticker on the mirror. How would Dr. Crane see me right now?
See, the thing is, Dr. Crane is always like, you're so beautiful, blah, blah, but if you wanted to.
There's always the but.
But if you wanted to, if this makes you
we love you. We accept you. In case you don't accept yourself, though.
If I had to find something wrong with you, here's what I do.
The compliment sandwich.
Here is the equivalent for women, and I see it all the time. It's when a girl, and she could be a darling girl, is out and she is wearing, okay, let's say she's cute. She's really cute and like got a wholesome vibe and like very young, whatever. I'm talking about a very specific girl, and I hope the girlies will understand who I'm talking about. And she is trying to embrace another brand. I am one of these women, cute, whimsical, whatever I can be. When I try and be sexy, like let's say I put on like a sexy dress and 2 high heels, I look like a baby giraffe that's just been born. Like I need to step into my other power. But when I'm trying to like do sex appeal, I look like I'm doing a bit. And I think girls need to understand this, that like, you've got to find your own sexy. Like, okay, you can't be Insta thought sexy, but you can be Kate Middleton sexy. Like not every girl can do that. And if you don't got it, you don't got it. Lean into what you have, or go to Dr. Crane and he'll sort you out. BBL.
But trying new looks, let's give them the benefit of the doubt here. Trying new looks might be a little bit of their self-care. Hey, I'm going to try a new look. I'm going to try new things. I'm going to step into the uncomfortable. I'm going to, not everybody's going to look the awkwardness of like stepping out of their parents' vehicle for junior prom. So.
Okay. That's really fair. You're being really nice.
Yeah, I'm the good cop in this city.
Oh, you totally are. You're such the good cop. Everybody's like that. The reviews are going to be like, that Blakely is such a bitch and she's so negative. And I'm going to be like, I tell the truth.
Yeah, because your 13 to 14-year-old audience here is like, oh, that bitch.
I spent all my allowance money on those heels. Well, you know what? You look ridiculous. Wait until you're a grown up or wear, I don't know, a kitten heel. That's
I'll be honest, this new generation doesn't give a fuck about what we think, okay?
They could care less. And honestly, all the better for it. I am desperately chasing their approval. Like I would do anything for a Gen Z girl to tell me I'm cool. Literally anything. But here's the thing. I have embraced my brand. I know what I am and I know what I'm not. And I am not going to ever try and be Carmen Electra. Like it's just not it's not in the cards. Dr. Crane can only do so much. He's a surgeon, not a
He's still
miracle
human.
worker.
He's still.
I really hope he listens to this podcast. Dr. Crane, I love you. And if you could, I don't know.
We should talk about sponsorships.
I'm sponsored by my plastic surgeon. That would be absolutely hysterical.
You're a walking billboard for this man's entire.
Oh, and I can't stop telling anybody either.
Yeah.
Like, what was the point when everyone's like, "Oh, you look great"? I'm like, "Well, I did just get a tummy tuck, and Dr. Crane's a miracle worker." And they're like, "Oh," I'm like, "And do you want to feel my boobs? They're fake." Do you know how many women?
Compliment? Those are great shoes. Thanks. And also, this is Dr. Crane.
Thanks, and my boobs are fake. Do you know how many women that I don't stranger women I have let feel me up in public restrooms?
Is it more than this? Is it more than the fingers on your hands?
I would say so, because you know why? I'm a girl's girl. And if they're thinking about it, I'll overhear somebody talking about it and I'll be like, "You want to feel mine?"
Yeah.
You won't even believe. They're like, I'm like, "I know." We have this whole conversation because I don't gatekeep, and I also am not a fraud. So
it's a support thing too. That's got a double meaning, because you want to be one. It's always in anyone's mind that hasn't ever gotten any work done. They're always like, I wonder what it would be like. So when you come across someone who's a walking billboard like you, who absolutely loved it, absolutely wants to tell everyone about it, there's an instant curiosity of like, well, what do they feel like? Is this good? Is this bad? What did they botch the job? Do you love it? What do these things? Because like they're just as curious as like, should I not?
I also feel like the only plastic surgery they're seeing and noticing is bad plastic surgery, because if somebody just looks great, you're not noticing it. And so I'm not anticipating what they would or wouldn't think, but I'm like, I never had anything done besides my boobs that like didn't bring me back to factory settings.
Yeah.
Like the plastic surgery I had, literally like insurance covered part of it. And I think there's an enormous stigma. And I think that lying about it is such not a girl's girl move. It's such not a girl's girl move, because then you have women walking around being like, "Well, why can't I get rid of that like loose extra skin? Like, how did she have 4 kids and she doesn't have that like, lower stomach pooch?" And I want to be like, "Honey, Dr. Crane, you better throw some coin. I better get half off a BBL or something after this." I'm going to his website right now, going through his menu. Are you okay? You heard BBL and you started choking.
Yeah, I'm just getting choked up over the BBL.
Okay.
So is plastic surgery one of your self-care?
That's like that's an actual self-care, and we can get into that another day, because I feel like I could go on, and maybe we'll have Dr. Crane on, our Jewish king. Maybe we'll have him on. I think it can be, and I like it when it's used restoratively, because I think you're beautiful the way you are. And if you go through things like, let's say you got into a car accident and you broke your nose and you don't look like yourself anymore, that's sort of how it felt for me. Now I've never done anything up here. This is all me. Oh, I did get lip injections, but like a year ago. So like it's mostly what you're looking at is real. It's all here down, that just is car parts. Anyway, I don't know that I'd call it self-care, and I actually think it could be dangerous for some people, but for me, it has been a really helpful tool. But honestly, you can get all the self-care or all this plastic surgery in the world that you want, and you still won't like yourself. Just that's the spoiler. So
we love who you are, but
I hate that. I hate that mindset. Like, love yourself. Okay, fine. You can love yourself. Let me feel how I feel. Like I'm so body positive for other people. I see women at every size, age, ability, and I'm like, "Oh, they look so beautiful." And then I look at me and I'm like, "You disgusting troll from under the bridge. Get some help and fix it all." And I think I should be entitled to hating myself, as long as I don't project it on anybody else.
It's your new bio, entitled to hate myself. I think that's a reasonable thing to say. I should feel entitled to roasting my own.
I'm really tired because, okay, you feel badly about yourself. And then on top of that, you feel shame for feeling badly about yourself because there's women who have it all figured out. And I'm telling you, even the most body positive queens have bad self-image days and go through things that make them like think twice about what they look like. I know some of the most beautiful women that I've gone shopping with them and they're like, oh, but my thighs. And I literally want to yeet myself off of a building, but it kind of makes me feel better. I'm like, oh, this is everybody. Like everybody. Yeah. Rock your body. Okay. My next one was getting a little iced latte and swishing it around. Like I don't even need to drink the coffee. I just need the swishy swish of a drinky drink.
Talk to me more about this.
Well, it's called little treat.
Talk to me more about these words they're using. I need a little coffee. First off, hot coffee or iced coffee?
Iced coffee. It's for the swishy swish.
Iced coffee is because it's iced coffee all year long. It's 20 degrees. It's minus 10 degrees. It's still iced coffee.
Because you know what they're doing? They're going.
Because they need the little, what did you say? Swishy swish?
The swishy swish of the drinky drink.
This is the gayest thing you've ever said.
Well,
I need the little swishy swish of the drinky drink. I'm right there with you. I'm right there with you. I don't drink coffee very much. I think we've talked about this before. But when I feel the need, this is self-care, but when I feel the need, it doesn't matter how much the latte cost. I still need and I'm not going to drink the whole thing. There's always going to be like an inch left in the bottom with the ice when it melts, sitting in my cup holder of the car. But it is the walk. It's the shaky shit. I'm going to coin this again. It's the swishy swish of the drinky drink.
And like, okay, sorry. It's an outfit completer. Like, I look great. I'd look even better if I had a drinky drink.
And you know it on the day when you walk out, the weather's right. Doesn't matter what weather it is. It's just right. And your outfit hits and then you go iced latte.
And it's like an ASMR sort of thing. And the sound of the ice cubes clinking together is a symphony. Yeah. And it does something to my serotonin levels.
Because the realism is the ice is starting to melt and you're actually mixing it back up with the coffee to make it taste better. But what it does for our bodies.
And then it's also like, it's like little treat culture, you know, like, oh, I'm just getting myself a little treat. Like it's $5 and it's like a gift from me to me. Your skin is gorgeous, but this is one of the difficulties of hosting a podcast with a man is you will never, the amount of, and I want an off ramp, honestly, every day. And I'll never take it because of the toxic beauty standards. I plan on upholding them until I'm in the coffin.
We're in it now.
But okay. I will think of something once and it will be a suggested ad. It's got cryo skin. I've got microneedling. I've got Botox. I've got to fill in the grays. With the amount of time I spend making myself look just median level attractive, I could have solved world hunger. It's a crime. I'm like, oh, every 4 weeks and you're never done. You can't get off the rat race because you're never fucking done.
And you know what we have to do? We just have to wake up.
And then men have the audacity to be like, we should go Dutch on a date. No, I'm sorry. Whoever waxed their bits, I don't want to be heteronormative, so this goes for gay couples too. Whoever waxed their bits to go on the date doesn't have to pay. And if you both did, then you go Dutch. But if I had to go spread eagle in front of a woman named Katya for 45 minutes while she poured flaming hot wax where the sun don't shine, I'm not paying for a date. Sorry.
Does she give you any reassurance too? Is it like, that was good. You're doing a really good job. Like you were great. Because some of them do. Some of them give you like a little bit of, that was really good. You did a really good job there. And every time it's like,
oh, meaning like you're doing really well with the pain. No, it hurts worse than birth. And they are so tired of me. What they will do is, this is giving too much information, but this is for if you made it to this point in the podcast, you deserve it. When they get further back is when it gets less painful.
Yeah.
And so they're trying to tell you, they're like, you're reaching the end. So they'll go, I'm getting to the back now. And I'll be like, thank Mother Mary, Jesus, and the wee donkey, because when you were going, to our most sensitive area. I don't know why this became a trend. I wish I were a woman of the 70s. And I know there's some women who are still rocking it like good for you. But oh my God. And it's or you have to go through the mortifying shame of having your leg up in the shower. Anyway,
there's no right way to do it yourself that you can retain any semblance of respect, to be honest.
Never. My most vulnerable moment is if I'm shaving my lady bits. Like, I would rather somebody watch me. Oh, I can't even think. Like, what would be the most? I would rather.
I have to lock multiple doors. I have to have like 2 to 3 layers of security.
Like to my bedroom door and then to the bathroom door.
Yes. There can't only be one. There has to be 2. No human being is ever walking into this scenario.
If my husband walked in on me shaving, I would start a new life in Costa Rica. Like he's watched me give birth 4 times and I'd rather die than be caught shaving. It is something that just miraculously happens as far as I'm concerned. And I plan to, it's like, when you're in the beginning of a relationship and you're pretending you don't go to the bathroom in perpetuity until we're dead, he will believe that I was born that
everything
way.
is just taken care of. It's just this is a clean package.
And we are a couple who like shares a lot. Like he could go to the bathroom with the door open. It wouldn't bother me. He shall never witness.
Yeah. As long as this is like Apple packaging. This is the most pristine thing. So I'm glad we've got that figured out because it's incredibly.
Just refer to my undercarriage as Apple packaging.
Yeah, they got the cleanest, most streamlined packaging system out of any product. So
it is really hard to believe you've ever been with a woman. I'm just going to be really honest. Because if you were
I have children to prove it. Well, I don't even know if that proves it. We would need a DNA test.
It doesn't. No, and it could be IVF. So I'm
just a well-rounded human being.
Are you sure? There's one of them that doesn't really look like it. Never mind. My next self-care item, and this is especially prudent because it just happened to me today, is working out harder and faster than the person next to you at the gym. If you're next to me in the gym, we're in a competition that you never entered and you don't know about. And I don't care who you are. Yesterday, it was a young gal next to me. Today, it was like a 75-year-old man. And I'm like, buck up, sweetheart. We're going fast on this bad boy. I don't know why. I guess I have a feeling better than everybody else complex.
Yeah.
But that's another one. And
I do the same. Okay. So I do the same, similar though, because I cycle and I have to be moving faster than anyone else on the trail. And then if I do have someone that like kind of is passing me, they're going a little faster. I then have to pace with them. And it's really annoying because then I'll be tired.
So now we're biking together. Now we're friends.
So now I'm biking behind you because you're going like at a good clip. And what am I going to be like left back here? Going slow. Like I'm going at a decent pace, but it's like now you're going faster and all of a sudden, but I don't feel that way with running. But treadmill's very different because I do a lot of trail running and trail cycling. But in the gym if you're going faster than me right next to me, what's wrong with me?
Right. And the gym is so I just joined a gym here in South Florida because it's gotten too hot to work out outside. And I was just putting the baby in the stroller and going for like long walks or runs.
Insufferable.
I know it's so bad. Like I'm actually kind of healthy and I hate myself for it, but hear me out. Here's the thing. Aging is coming for me and I will fight it to the death because don't get me wrong. I take good care of myself, but like I am going down swinging. Like there will be squats.
I mean, you're headed into your early 30s. So
I'm 32. And I feel every bit of it. And I'm waking up and my back is creaky. Anyway, I'm like, okay, I'm going to the gym. But the thing is, the gym culture in South Florida is so toxic. Like you've got the most attractive people you've ever seen in your life. And they're all like grunting and like walking through the gym like this. And so I'm like, can't make eye contact with anybody, must disappear into the floor. I'm on the Stairmaster today and I felt like I was going to die because I'd already gotten on the treadmill and the Stairmaster was like me like doing a little extra, But the people who'd just gotten on next to me didn't know that. They thought that might have been my first workout of the day. So I am fighting for my life on the Stairmaster. And one of the things I like to do when I'm working out is listen to worship music. And so one time Mike comes up to me in the gym and I'm on the Stairmaster and I'm listening to a worship song and my eyes are closed. And he reenacted it for me. He's like, you were looking up into the heavens on the Stairmaster with worship music on. It looked like you were reaching heaven's gates. And like, I'm getting emotional and like sometimes tearing up a little bit.
I've never in my life heard of someone listening to worship music at the gym. If you could have asked me to say any other thing of what you would have been listening to.
Do you know
I've listened to musicals. I've listened to soundtracks.
You know what my other playlist is, though? You know what my other playlist is? Is gay anthems.
Is it a folder in Spotify? Is it a Spotify playlist called Gay Anthems?
Yeah, it's actually Apple Music because I'm 100 years old. And I switch back and forth between today's Christian and gay anthems. It's a pride playlist.
This feels like it should be bigger news, to be honest. Do you have like special artists? Or are they like worship teams from specific churches?
Yeah, elevation music.
How is a playlist like this put together? I have questions about the validity of this that's happening right now. I would have bought that your grandfather was the sixth person on the moon. But you
don't
telling
that
me
I'm
you listen to worship
forth.
music on the Stairmaster, I have issues with the validity of this.
I'm swapping back and forth between Lady Gaga's Born This Way and Fear Is Not My Future.
It's given ally and hate crime in the same it's given a two-face.
This podcast is now renamed Hateful Allyship. Hateful Allyship, a new podcast.
Oh, it's given rainbow flags at Hobby Lobby is what it's given.
That's a little bit me. I don't apologize for either of those things. I won't apologize. But do you know what? When you don't feel like you can go on any longer and your butt muscles are clenching and you're just thinking,
I'm familiar with this.
Right. And, Beyonce
and out of the gym.
Beyonce's just not doing it for you anymore. And you're like, where can I go? Mm-hmm. The next stop is the Lord. It goes Lady Gaga, Beyonce, Jesus. And so that's what gets me through my hot bod workout. And you know what? Try it. You never know what it could do for you.
I'm not going to, but there's a hierarchy. So you go from like Beyonce, Gaga to Jesus, and I go to God as a woman. So it's Ariana, it's Carly Rae Jepsen. Carly Rae Jepsen,
the Pussycat Dolls.
Queen. The Pussycat Doll. Now you're aging yourself. I'm pretty sure I haven't listened to those since. Are they still around? Are they still doing things? Wish your
girlfriend was hot like me?
No one has listened to that in the past 10 years. I'm on the treadmill
when I'm cooling down, and I'm like,
what's your comfort? It's hard to ask what your comfort is if you're listening to worship music while you need to press on that extra 200 kilometers on the rowing machine. But like when you're sad and down, is it still worship music? Like it's, let me paint a quick picture for you here. You're in the minivan. Y'all have a minivan, right?
We just traded it. I just traded in the minivan.
Okay. Well, it doesn't matter for my mental image here. You're in the minivan. You're having a rough day. You're parked in the driveway. It's raining. You've got your little iced coffee, swishy, swishy. What's the song you're putting on?
Well, what you don't know is worship has many moods. So when I'm on the treadmill or I'm on the Stairmaster, I'm going like, won't he do it? Like, it's Black church.
Look at what he's done. Yes, he can. Yes, we can. It's very Barack Obama first term.
It's giving Barack. And then when I'm down, it's giving like he's with you. And it's white people worship music. So that's the distinction. If I'm listening to Black church, that means I need some uplifting. And if I'm sad, I'm hanging with the whiteys.
Okay. So if it's like when you're feeling good, it's Beyonce. When you're sad, it's Sam Smith. Okay.
Exactly. Another thing I'll listen to on repeat when I'm sad is She Used to Be Mine from The Waitress.
Whoa. We're off into left field now. You're throwing a
No, we're
wrench into
not.
the
Oh, it's a musical. And
I
it's, you
know, but
remember,
we've introduced musicals now.
but like she's an abused woman
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
and she's
Here we
sitting
are with the
there
cardigan again.
with her. Right. I always, that's my like other character is a girl with the cardigan. No, she's taking off her apron because she works at a diner.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sitting in my really nice luxury car in South Florida thinking, I relate, sis. I
There's
relate.
nothing that the medium to medium class rich people like to do more than cosplay poor. It just it's giving you just a little it's like it's a Tuesday and it's been hard and you just got done at the salon and you're headed for Dr. Crane's, but it's like something's just not feeling right. Maybe the iced coffee didn't hit and it's
They
like
didn't put enough foam on
let's
my cold
listen to
brew.
a song about a woman that came from nothing and might hopefully get a little bit of like a starter job eventually.
A man will finally notice her and pluck her out of obscurity.
Just any man with a
Meanwhile,
blue
I'm
collar job.
literally my whole personification, my rainbow, the fact that I dress like a Skittle, have fake lips, big boobs. I'm like, literally look at me under all circumstances. The girl's like mousy and she's like, oh, I hide behind my glasses. And I'm literally like, I'm not hiding behind anything. You can see me coming a mile away. I am nothing like this girl. But like, in my heart, it would be more fun to be that girl. Like, isn't she okay? As a man who formerly isn't a
Formerly
girl,
married?
right? Isn't a girl who's like, isn't that kind of cute? Like, I will never be her. That is so adorable. There's like something sort of
Oh, like damaged and in need of saving? You're
like
going
a
for like the
little,
hero trope here.
no, like a little like beautiful, but she doesn't know it. And I'm like, could never be me.
Oh, what were all the 90s and 2000s where it's like the school nerd? What's that?
She's all that,
She's all
where they
that.
like
Yeah.
take off her overalls and
Hmm.
her
Yeah. Let
glasses.
me hold on. Pull the biggest thing. Pull the glasses off. Oh, you're actually beautiful.
You're actually you're actually really objectively attractive, and everybody could tell. Mandy
Yeah.
Moore in yeah,
A
Mike's like
walk to
that was
remember. You're gonna
Mike's like
invoke
that was
Mandy
my
Moore from a walk to remember.
that was Mike's like he thinks her in A Walk to Remember, and I'm like, so you like the mousy church girl who's a little broken and has cancer? That
Yeah.
was your
Yeah.
teenage heartthrob, and he's like, yes, and he
Yeah,
married
because
the
most
opposite of
men
that.
buy into the like it's the white savior complex, but it's the savior complex for any man, which is just I'm gonna go save someone from
Right.
like a family that doesn't value them, a ex-boyfriend that still treats them or like whatever. Late stage capitalism. It's what are
Right.
we saving? It's like all men. It's like we have to save women, and this is a Mandy
Okay.
Moore didn't need saving. She was gonna die
She was
anyway.
fine. She was gonna die, and she had a family who loved her. Justice for her family who had to like pawn her off on this guy for the last couple months of her life. And okay, sorry, fine. High School Musical, this is a perfect trope. You've
There we
got
go.
Gabriella, who's like mousy and like, oh, am I cute? I don't know. And then you've got Sharpay, who's like adorable and is like, I want it all. Like, look at me. I know what I've got. I have been working on my act forever, and you're going to give it to some bitch who just walked in here and sang for the first time.
Yeah.
Like, justice for Sharpay, who honestly, like, Troy, what Troy wanted to save Gabriella. Sharpay didn't need saving. Justice for Sharpay.
The flip side of this is the walk to remember. It's the bad boy who can be redeemed
Who can be
by the
fixed.
mousy girl. I am so virtuous. I
That
can redeem him.
well, it just happened on Bridgerton. He's like going from the brothels,
Ugh.
and then
It's the same
he all of a sudden
thing.
does it one gentlemanly thing, and we totally forget that he had like three hookers surrounding him in
Yeah.
the last episode. And here's the thing, I love a redemption story. We all do. We all do. I think that's why we like those tropes. But it's like I guess it would make for a very good movie about two people who are emotionally intelligent and
Mhm.
have figured out their stuff, and they find each other. And where would the conflict be?
Yeah, they
I
both have
guess.
secure attachment styles. And then they
Right.
just live together, having hard conversations and enjoying each other's presence while having healthy boundaries.
Wow. That
Snooze fest.
I'm asleep.
Sell
anyway,
0 tickets, no bombs at the box office.
No. So my favorite movie trope I've told you is the one where I'm like the, widow or divorcee who's inherited the old Victorian B&B, and I'm like wrapped in the wool cardigan. And then I look across the lake and there's like the new widow why are we both widows?
Why are all the men dying in this story?
Because it's my fantasy. We're wrapped, and I like look across the lake and there's like a sad widow who looks up and he's like, I loved my wife, but she didn't have.
Say it.
Like, he's virtuous.
Yeah.
You're hearing my wet dream right now. He's like so virtuous that he can't say he loves me more than he's like, I'll never be able to.
You'll never replace her.
This should never have come out of the journal.
She'll always be in a part of my heart.
She'll always take up part of my heart, but maybe my heart can grow for you.
Yep.
And then he wraps me into his big lumberjack arms.
His larger cardigan. We're both wearing cardigans for some reason.
And then meanwhile, like, my reality is like so different than that. Like, I married a guy who looks like Ralph Lauren's accountant.
Yeah.
But like, no, here's what girls fantasize about. If you're the one straight man listening, hello, welcome, lean in, buddy. We all fantasize about a man who will protect us. We all fantasize about that. Sorry, we do. That's
physically
why
or financially.
No.
Safety comes in a million different ways.
Safety is sexy. Like, clip this. Safety is sexy. And whether it's physically protecting us or emotionally protecting us, we all just want to be enveloped in that warm, safe thing. And it's so rare to come by. So like, do I fantasize about like hot pool boys or no? I fantasize about somebody just not, hold on. I can't go there. I fantasize about having a normal Tuesday.
You fantasize about just hanging out with your family in a house that's like, paid for with a maid.
With no
someone
mortgage.
That cleans your house.
No mortgage.
Yeah.
Somebody cleans my house. Somebody
the
blow dries my hair.
is like simplifying as we go to like just someone to clean my toilets so I don't have to.
I really just want a cardigan. I think what we've learned from the last 2 podcasts is we both have to go out to Macy's and buy a wool cardigan because I just want to be able to sit on my porch that I don't have and be like, winter's coming faster this year.
Yeah. And also neither of us live in places where we have seasons.
No.
So we're both going to have to go someplace else.
We're up against the glass in the air conditioning like this.
Florida and Texas are not places that you write rom-coms about where they're getting over dead lovers. Apparently in your fantasy, it's always a widow. It's never a divorcee.
Here's the thing.
What's sexier? Widower, or divorcee?
Well, it depends on the reason for the divorce, but to me, widow is sexier because he like loved her to the end. Divorcee to me could be like, you still have to interact with this woman and you still could have feelings for her. And the way that like I feel is that once we are together, women cease to exist. And I realize that is a really reasonable expectation to have. And so, like, if he's a divorcee and, like, what, do they share children? Did she leave him? Like, okay, if she left him and he's, like, heartbroken, no, that kind of gives me the ick.
I'm hearing there's, like, a hierarchy of sexy divorcee reasons.
Okay, there's also a hierarchy of widow reasons. Like, if she had a long battle that he had to take care of her.
Any type of illness that he had to take care of her.
And he took care of her and, like, loved her. If she died in a car crash, like, still hot, but maybe not quite as. And this will be our last episode. What did we learn today, folks?
She said car crash still hot.
I can't breathe.
Also, we just want to let y'all know for all the viewers, in any of these scenarios, no children are involved. Okay.
No, 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 no,
In
no, no.
any
I
of our
don't.
in any of our fantasies that we play out
No,
here, where we're
no.
in upstate New York wearing cardigans, there are no like children being like in the other room. This is
No.
always
No, but he's
we're always
coming.
in our mid-20s, no children, divorcee.
My boobs are still up to here. You know what I mean? And so that everything's back where it belongs in my fantasy. No,
Factory reset on just everything.
factory reset on everything on my psyche. Also, no,
Mhm.
in my fantasy, I have children because like I don't want to do away with them. But like he's like, I don't see them as a burden. I'm getting really specific here. I haven't thought of this very much. I haven't been workshopping this.
This
in
is
my
going to
head.
be a reoccurring bit where we continue to workshop this Blakely's like most definitive fantasy about what it's going to be.
Meanwhile, the picture behind me.
We started with you as a singular
Wait,
person in this fantasy. Yeah, we just
we
yeah,
killed
like
him off in
put
season
part of the
2.
vase in front of it or something. Now we've moved to like
Look.
the other person in the fan. Look at that guy.
Oh, we love
Look
him,
at
but
that man.
we will kill him off for the purpose of this podcast. And you know what? He'd want me to be happy. And the thing is, I'd want him to be happy too. The only thing I need you to make sure is if I die, I need him to be with somebody incredibly sweet and incredibly mediocre. Like she can't be prettier than me, obviously, but like I don't want her to be ugly, but like not prettier than me. And then she also can be like nice, but like funny. No, like oh my god, if he could sleep
like a
with
Walmart
every woman
Anakin
on
brick.
earth, if he ever even chuckles at another woman's joke, divorce. Laura Wasser on the phone. No, no. Say goodbye to 50% of your assets because you giggled at that bitch. Anyway,
They can never be funnier than us.
it's impossible.
That you can look better, but you can never be funnier than us.
Speak for
I still
yourself.
have to be the funniest person you know because I'm the funniest person I know.
She can be like a delight, but she can't be funnier. Anyway, what did we learn today, Phil?
We learned that you have deep, dark fantasies that we don't need to keep talking about. We learned that we got some wild self-care tips that I feel like are very important and people do need to hear.
Right.
I kind of want to know
like
what
go see Dr. Crane.
Go see Dr. Crane and he'll let you know what's wrong with you. You don't have to worry. See, he's curing depression and anxiety too, because now I no longer have to worry about what's wrong. I can just go to Dr. Crane. He can go, well, you look great. I'll be like, oh my God, thank you. Please.
Gun to your head. What are you having Dr. Crane do? Like you go in right now. You have no money is of no object, is of no concern.
Mm-hmm. You want me to get really serious here?
Yeah, get really serious. Tell me what you would do right now.
Right there.
A blepharoplasty?
Right there.
That's what that's called.
See how we're getting we're starting
to
droop
the hooded
over the
eyelid.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, you know who did
eyelid.
that? You know who did that? Josh Peck. He had a blepharoplasty.
Oh, we love Josh Peck.
We love Josh Peck. We love the Good Guys podcast. Shout out. Yeah, he had that done. And okay, so here's the thing. Like that wouldn't change your appearance. Like it really wouldn't.
But that's the thing as I'm aging, I'm certainly noticing the droop and the hooded eyelids there. Like that.
It's restorative.
I've looked at it and I've gone, oh, that wouldn't change much. Just a little bit.
Right. You know what I do? Because obviously I have a long
list.
On me? Not on you.
I thought we were about to get really cool. You know what I'd change about you? I guess we're here now. Let me know.
We'll work that up for next week's ep.
What would
I change like right now? Okay, I've thought about this. I would have, first of all, women are getting facelifts too late because they're pulling back old skin. So I would probably get rid of the Irish jawline.
Mm-hmm.
Or I'm starting to notice like a little bit of cellulite. And I don't even know if there's anything they can do about it, but like the back of my legs, like, oh, that's so not fun for me. Anyway, Dr. Crane, you know what? I'm going to ask Dr. Crane at my follow-up. I'm going to be like, so like if you had to do something else, what would it be? Because I need to report back to the podcast. So I'll ask him and I'll let him know what he said. He's
tell
the
him to
third
come on
member
the
of this pod.
podcast and live roast us as to what he would change.
We will have him on and we'll ask all the deep dark questions. We'll have him do a live surgery on me.
Also, I just want to hear him go, "You're beautiful as you are." But it's perfect.
That's what we'll leave you with. You're beautiful as you are. But
except if you don't want to be, and to which you don't have
we
to
fully
be.
support you. All right. We love you. We'll see you next week. Please rate, review, subscribe, and share with all your friends. Again, we can't afford advertising, so you're all we've got.
Bye.
Bye. Love you. Bye.
Is it we can't afford advertising, or no one knows we exist yet?